right, ladies and gentlemen, this happens to be International Red's fashion experience. This is the full-fledged experience. I have a mini fashion experience that's on my Facebook that I do every day, Monday to Thursday. This here is the original fashion experience. And original is what I'm talking about. Be your own original self. What I mean by that is don't let no one else steal you and let you be something that you're not. What you like doing and what you like being, you do that and be that. However outrageous it is, if it's satisfying you and you're enhanced and you enjoy yourself for being that and doing that, then that's what you do. Because a lot of people, when they're young, it's all right to follow the crowd and everything because you're trying to fit in. When you once fit in and you know who you are and you know what you are and you want to be unique, you have to find your own unique self. In other words, you understand? It's just like when I was in high school, we all wore back on the sweaters, gaiters and things, you know. We all, you know, on that dressing page. And then as I got older, I did the mod thing, I did the mod look. I mixed a little bit of things like people I seen and people I knew. When I got my start from Sweet Roy, a dude I patterned my wearing all one colors matching, I got that from him. And then I stepped it up, you understand me, with Joe Black and a few other people I know that had style. I got a little bit from them, you know, and I mix it and come up with my own original self. You know, just like now, you understand me, I got my own style. I wear this is unique. I wear the, you understand me, the flower, you know what I mean? You know, and the bows here, you understand me? You see how that look? You know, I got my own style, you understand me? Things that I do to make me who I am. So it's like you gotta find your own style, your own unique self. Don't follow the road because I'm gonna tell you something, I'm gonna give you an example. You know, people that copy people, you understand me, you know what I mean? They don't find who they are, and it's like you don't have no confidence in yourself to be your own self. And it's like this. I'm gonna give you a couple of examples. One example, my father was a merchant marine on the ship. And he came home, he was a guy that liked, admired him, you know. He moved next door to him, got a house just like my father, moved right next door. You know what I'm saying? Then my father bought a car. My father bought a 64 brown with a beige top, brand new Chevy Impala. You see? Exactly. This man went and bought the same exact car, lived next door to him, bought the same exact car, right? I mean, you don't follow nobody verbatimly like that. You don't do that, man. You have that much admiration for him, it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're not gay or you're not tripping or nothing, you still don't do that. Even people like that don't. You just don't do it. You know what I mean? It's like you have lack of self-confidence that you got to follow this person. He's successful. My father's a successful person. My father's a leader. My father danced to his own music. He's always been that way, and that's why I got that from my father. As far as being a leader in style and whatever he does his own thing. You understand? And that's where I got it from. But when this guy did this, his wife was about to leave him because she seen he's following another man like that. You know, she figured to herself, she might as well get somebody that can stand on their own 2 feet. You understand me? Because if you follow somebody, everything they do, every move they make, then that don't make you a leader, that make you a follower, you understand? It's just like me with the flowers. It was one of the cats that did the flowers. I did it myself, and then I increased it and did it better. And, you know, I do my thing, you understand? You know, and I got to, you know, be me, you dig? And everything I do the glitter, I do the glamour. You understand me? That's the way I do it. That's how I do it, because that's the way I want to do it. You know, but you don't follow other people. I know another cat. I'm going to use another cat as an example. You know, I'm wearing suits all the time. I'm wearing suits being fresh. He want to follow my footsteps and wearing suits. But suits really ain't him. He don't really wear suits. He when he get around me. You know, he's a jean and one of the kind of cats like that. I stepped up to the suit game, so he tried to keep up with me. So he put suits on. He got about maybe 10 suits. I got 100 suits. He said, oh, you got too many suits. You understand? But I'm getting all the action. I'm getting all the admiration. People always complimenting me and giving my respect. Because he got that many suits, but he don't have enough sense to take them to the cleaners like I do. It costs money to look good. You got to understand, if you can't afford to look good, then don't look good. Because it costs money to look like this. This ain't free. And if you can't afford it, or you don't want to take the money out the time and the money out to look good, then you really ain't feeling good because you don't wash your clothes. He did this. He got the suit, the little suits he had. I said, man, buy more suits, buy more clothes, because your clothes are getting dirty faster and they're getting wear and tear quicker. See, the key to the game, I learned this from Smiley. You understand me? It was my dressing mentor in the later days. And I followed people footsteps. I got mentors, people I follow. He knew the cat before me, but he did not want to listen to the cat. He don't want to be around people that are winning and succeeding. He wants to do his own thing, but he wants to do it his way. And it's not the right way, you understand? Taking shortcuts and all that. And then he's looking halfway, his suits is messed up because he tried washing them. Instead of taking them to the cleaners, he don't listen to nobody when they tell him what to do because he don't want to spend the money. You know, and I told him, if you're going to look good, don't look good. Then just wear your jeans. Don't try to be sharp. And that's what he ended up doing. He ended up going, you know, not going out because he didn't want to go out and not have a suit on. So then when he did go out occasionally, then shit was tacky. You know, he had to bring around the collar. He had suits that, you know, they lost they body. They didn't look good. They didn't look fresh. You know, you don't look good when you do that. You half-stepping. That's a tacky move, you see? So if you can't do things right, find something you like to do that's passionate for you, that you into. You got to be into it and you got to love it. It's got to be you. Don't do it because somebody else doing it. If you follow somebody else, you're not really loving it for yourself because you're doing what they're doing. You're not being original. Be your own original self. Find out what you like. If it comes to dressing, if you don't like to dress, don't dress. But maybe you like art. You might like painting. You might like doing something, being creative in that way, or whatever you do. See, I like dressing. That's my thing. You know, my mother dressed, my father dressed, my sister dressed. Everybody dressed. So that's my thing. So that's what I do. But it's like this. You don't have to do what other people do. You find your own original self. Be your best self, you understand? If you be your own best self, then you'll love yourself, you'll feel better about yourself, and you'll be confident. When you're following somebody else and they lead the way, you're not confident. That's why you have them lead, because you're not sure of yourself. So you're following them because you see them winning, but you're not into it. You're not really in it. You understand? You know, a lot of things you do just to be accepted. No, me, I'm like this. I don't care about being accepted. I'm already past that. And I told him back in the day, when people, you know, had conflict about me or would say something about why I didn't do this or why I didn't do that, you know, why I didn't stand on the corner and talk with them and all. Man, I'm handling my business. I'm doing my thing. Mine was unique. My car was unique. I was unique in my own original way. Car had curtain chandelier. You know what I mean? I had my own style. I was the only one with curtains in the car. Ain't nobody had curtains in the car since the 70s. This was in the 80s and 90s. I had curtains. See, I did it because that's what I wanted to do. I don't care what other people think. A lot of people were laughing at me, talking about me. Then I had a lot of people that loved it and admired it and really understand me. Majority of the people loved it and liked it because nobody else had it, and it was my style. And when it comes to getting chosen, when it comes to things happening in my favor, it got over because my car could be in the lot. And I'd be in the mall, and somebody would know I was there, see my car and come up and look for me. Man, that's what I'm talking about. I know the benefits of having something unique. You understand me? That's only you. When they see it as you, it's your signature, and they're looking for you, they'll find you. See, but I wasn't doing the wrong. I didn't have no enemies. See, if you got enemies, you got people looking for you, then you can't do that. You understand? That's the thing people don't understand. Certain things you do in certain where you are, you have to be straight up. You can't be doing undermining stuff, and you standing out like a sore thumb. You know what I'm saying? And you're doing something wrong. No, you got to be straight up. You understand? That's why I said, when I look the way I look and I stand the way I stand, I'm not running, I'm not hiding. You know, what you see is what you get. You understand? And attracted a lot of women. You know what I mean? It did do that. And you know what I mean? But it's just, I was being me though, and they being like me for who I was. And like I say, when somebody follows me and try to be like me, what's the first thing they say? You understand? I know another cat. He was following, trying to be like a dude. You know what I mean? Trying to be just like him. You know what I'm talking about? Walk like him, talk like him. And then the woman, understand me, she got with the original cat. The cat he was trying to be like. she got with him because she ended up meeting him, and he was the original cat. She liked it. She knew he was the one that you were trying to be like, because he was older than you and you were younger. You tried to pattern him. You put a little bit in it from some. See, this is what you do. See, you got to realize this. This is how you make your own recipe. Make your own, be your own best self. In case you don't know who you are. You take a little bit of somebody, not the whole thing. You take a little bit of somebody. That's how I came up with my style. See, I'm going to tell you how the recipe to do that. You don't take the man's whole style. You might take a piece of this from him. One thing you like about him, you take that from him. Then there's another cat you might like something about him. You get something from him. You get 4 or 5 different people that are doing great things, and then you come up with your own original self, But you do this when you're young. So when you get older, you're who you are. Because you've been doing it so long, it's you. There's no one else. That's how you get your own original style. You know what I mean? When you're young, you create that while you're young. When you see people, fools doing, I call them a fool, because you see them 50 and 60 years old, and they don't know who to identify with. They're trying to be like somebody else. And you hear them talking and walking like somebody that might have been, more famous or more well known. They try to be like them. Talk like them, act like them, walk. No, that ain't cool. Because that shows lack of self-esteem and they're not strong. They're not strong. Because when they get that age, they're supposed to know who they are and be who they are and be what they are. They're not supposed to be following nobody. See, when you get a certain age, you're supposed to be leading the way. But I was leading the way all through the game. When I found out who I was and what I was going to do, I led the way, man, 80s on. I'll say 80s on because in the 70s, I was following different people's footsteps. I was following to a degree. Like I said, I followed the Ward Brothers to a degree. When the Ward Brothers was doing things, being famous in Oakland, I got my cars capped like if I did that. That was a trend at that time. But in the 80s and 90s, I did my own thing. Like I said, the curtains and all that, something that they didn't do. I took it to my own original notch. Chandelier and curtains, man. See, I did a whole different thing. You know what I mean? Because I knew then how to be my own best self. When you're young, you're like when I was 21, and I had my first cap, I wanted to be like them. See, they were the ones to be like. That way you do that. When you're forming your style, it's okay to pattern after someone when you're young because you admire them and they're your mentors. Like, it's okay to do that then. But when you get older, you understand me, you have your own style. You see? When you're young, it's like it's a trend. When you're young, it's okay to be like other people. But when you get old, you find your own style. You understand? You try to be your own original self. You dig? And that's how you understand me? You do. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they were the ones to look up to in in the Mac, the movie, and everything else. But I was doing this before the movie. See, I was doing this before the movie. That's the point I'm trying to make. You know what I mean? That was the thing to do, and that was who to be. That's who the women wanted to be with. So if you were anywhere like on that style, I was light-skinned like them. I kind of looked like them, and I was accepted like one of them. You understand? But I never told nobody I was them. I wouldn't do that. I was my own best self. You understand? And by you doing that and being your best self and being your own original self, you don't pattern. You know what I mean? You admire these people, you like them, but you do not be them. It's just like Hippie Kurt. I knew him. I knew, you understand me. Frantic Jimmy. You know what I mean? These guys went after the hippie girls, you understand me, and on the psychedelic trip. They were mine. I had some of that in mind. I mixed some of their recipe for a minute in the 70s. I got mine where the Apple has platforms and the single, I did that. I did that too. I did the mod thing. And then I went with the Nehru suits with the medallion in the late 60s when they was doing off Hullabaloo. Yeah, you find these styles at the time and you pattern them because they're the styles that's in. See, but when you once find who you are and gravitate toward what you like and who you are, then you make the style. The style don't make you. See, that's why I say society try to lead you into a style like right now. The baggy pants, the tight suits, pants sagging on the ass, they do that. If society doesn't do it, the individuals do it. But the point they do, they make it accessible for you to wear them like that because they wear the pants, narrow pants, which I'm not going to wear. If I wear it, I'm wearing it a size big. I make it where it look good. But I make the suits to where I look good in them. I wear the suits for my satisfaction. I don't wear the skinny suit and wear skinny and all that. That's what they do for them. I'm going to wear the original suits like I've been doing it. But you got people, old people that adapt to that because society puts that out there. But I'm going to wear the suits that I've been wearing. But they don't even make them. This is how they trick you. They don't even make the skinny suits. The big suits no more. They didn't gone completely out. You got to have them tailor-made. You got to have old suits because they don't have them no more. So it's like, what do you do? But I got enough suits to wear the rest of my life, so I'm not even worried about it. Because I've been doing this for so long, a long time, and it's my style and I'm not changing it. Because I know that, I'm who I am. And I've been confident in dressing and doing that my whole life. The dressing game is what I've been doing. That's what I'm foremost, and mostly, that's my thing, dressing. I'm a fashion ambassador. I'm a fashion coordinator. But that's what it is. You understand me? I'm into the dressing game. But a lot of people, they're not into dressing. So when it comes to other things, they got to be original about. It don't have to be clothes. You could wear something everybody else wear when it comes to clothes. But when you do your artwork or whatever you do, you have to have your own original touch to it. It don't have to be dressing. Because dressing, you want to fit in with everybody else because you don't want to stand out because you get attention and you get a lot of... But me, I'm a canvas. I'm an artist. This is my canvas. That's what I do. For me, dressing is my passion. See, that's what I do. I'm not telling other people to dress. You look regular, wear regular stuff just to get by. It's less expensive, less attention, and you can concentrate on whatever it is you want to do that you be creative in. You might work on cars, you might make hot rods, you might paint cars. You might have a car that you fix up and make it candy painted all fashionable. You got people that put their passion and put their money in something. They put it in something. I just haven't put it in dressing. But they got people that put it in. That's why I said to people, I said, man, you ain't got to dress just because I dress. That's what I do. You ain't got to be in a dressing. You got a cat. I know one dude, he don't dress at all. Not nothing. He won't buy nothing. He ain't got no suit or nothing. But you go to his house, it's immaculate. He got all these antiques. He got all these nice. That's his uniqueness. That's his passion. That's his thing. And I say, man, that's what you do. Beautiful. He buys all kind of paintings. He's into art. That's good. You got to have something you love doing. If you love doing that, that's your thing now. But you like to be low key out in public. You like to be under. That's good. As long as you have something you're passionate about that you can feel good about. So when he gets home, he's beautiful at home. When he's out in the street, he's just fit. He's just getting by. But when he gets home, he feels rich because he has all this stuff. So that's okay for him. But me, I'm the opposite. I'm out in the street, I feel rich. Because people are always complimenting me when I'm going to take a picture with me. Do this, do that. That's okay. What I'm saying is be your own original self. He's what he is. He don't dress. I don't tell him, man, you need to dress, whatever. But the point of it is, he does not go out. He don't go to night. He never went to nightclubs. He never went out at night to no clubs or nothing. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, he never did anything like that. So it's like that's his thing. But you have to be your own original self. I don't try to be like him, and nothing he does, he'll tell me, you need to do this, you need to do that. I don't do it. Dressing is what I do, and that's my passion, and that's where I be my original self at. And with him, he liked to be into fixing his house up, and that's good, and other things like that. And you got people that like to fix their cars. I like to do both, cars and myself, my experience. Fix cars up and make them look good, and dress up and look good exteriorly. He likes it to be under, but that's okay for you to find out what you like to do And some people like to fix their garden. They might have a garden and flowers, and they like to really put their creative artness in the flowers, in a garden, and that's good. See, you got to feel passionate about something that you like to do. That's your own original creativity to put into that. You got that you can do, and that's the thing about it. You understand? You have to realize what it is, and be into that, not for no one else's satisfaction. Don't follow their lead or what they do, because they're doing what they like to do. Do what you like to do, and do it, you understand me, where it'll make you happy. If you like to sit in the garden and drink wine, I'm just saying that because I seen this on the Baby Boy where the lady was so happy sitting there with her garden. That's what meant a lot to her, looking at her beautiful fruits and vegetables that she made. See, some people be passionate. I had an uncle that was passionate about gardening. He loved to make gardens and do stuff like that, But he was an exterior cat too. He liked to dress and he liked to have fancy car. But he couldn't get a good woman because he had a bad attitude. But I didn't try to follow him. What I did with him, because my father was the one that, he dressed when he wanted to dress, but he was a down-to-earth guy. He didn't dress like all the time. He dressed and put clothes on as necessary, but he was the kind of guy who worked on cars. He did a little bit of everything, But he was a businessman, you know what I mean? But my uncle was more of a player type dude. You know what I mean? He had the car and he had the look and he dressed up, And then he was a barber and he did other things, But the point of it is with him, he had gardens. I never seen him really have a house that he owned, like my father did, He ended up with a little room, you understand me, by himself. But he kept him a nice car and he kept him up. He dressed nice, And I thought about it. I said, well, he couldn't get him a good woman. He could never get a woman. At that time, he was out without. But he was jealous of my father because my father had, and kept his wife and had a family and had everything together, But don't be jealous of what somebody else got. Look at it like this. Be your own original self and be happy for what you do and what you got. Even though the next person might have more, might be doing more. You concentrate on what makes you happy. And if you concentrate on you and your happiness, then you don't have to worry about them. You find out how to be your own original self and fall in love with that. Whatever it may be. Like I said, be creative in your own endeavors. And make sure you love doing it. Don't do it for somebody else. A lot of people do things for somebody else, and then they're not happy doing it. And then they don't be really happy. Like I said, my friend that tried to dress, when the dressing really wasn't his thing. He wasn't really into dressing. That's why he didn't do it right. 10 suits. I said, man, that ain't nothing. You don't understand. You got to have a lot of clothes. And then when I got around Smiley, I seen the key to having a lot of clothes. Let's go into the cleaners, and you look better because all your stuff stays fresh. And he had clothes. He had even 2 of the same suits. Now, I wouldn't do that, but he did do it. I wouldn't do that, though, because I don't need it. I got so many other suits that's different. Only time I had 2 was when one wore out, and then I had to buy another one. You know what I mean? Or something like that. But that's the thing about it. You got to learn, you understand me, to be creative. You understand? And keep your stuff together. And be your own original self. Be original, you understand? If you can be original and stay on that original page of being you, and like I say, you take different ideas from people, but don't be exactly like them. When you're forming your own identity, you take a little bit from different people that you admire and come up with your own thing. And that's where you'll be more original. Don't try to be like a certain person, all the way around, because that's no good. Even if you see a movie star or actor, you don't follow them. You don't do that. Even though you might admire them, you see people do that. You take a little bit of 2 or 3 people, and do that. You might be like, say you like the gangsters, Al Capone and all, or you like Scarface. You might dress up like them on, wear that look, because I did the Miami Vice look. When I first, in '86 with Miami Vice, I loved Miami Vice. So I started dressing and looking like them. I even went to Miami, you understand? But I did that. That was something I went through. And I felt Miami Vices. I wore the dress and clothes and all that. And I was there, but I didn't talk like them and act like do all that kind of verbatim. I just dressed it up. But I like dressing anyway, but I wore the clothes like them. And went to Miami even. You know what I mean? And found out it wasn't all, it's cracked up to peak. But I went through that. Sometimes you gotta do that to find out who you are. You know, I was like in my 30s. So when I did that, you know, I did it for a minute, then like now. Then after that, when I got in my 40s and 50s, you know, then I really found out who I was, and I really stuck to it. But it was when I was on the track, when I was doing my thing then, like I said, I did my own original thing. You know, I was me all the way around, you know. So be your own original self. And I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that's the way it goes. That's International Red's mini fashion experience. And I want you to know I'm checking out. Me and Beverly will have a show that we will do on the night. Thank you very, ladies, thank you very much.